Let your hands rest on your legs. Close your eyes. We're going to take a deep breath in and let it go. Let's try that again. Another deep breath in and let it go. And one more time. Inhale. And then just let it go. Observe your breathing. Observe your heart beating. Find a moment of quiet. And in your own time, start to make those nice big circles going around one way several times before you change the direction and go the other way around several times. Breathe through your nose if you can. Change the direction of the circles. Let it be organic whenever it feels right. Just a couple more times around to loosen the hips up. Loosen your back. So as we transfer into the rhythm of the elephant, you're going to lean in front of your hips and you're going to sway gently from side to side in the rhythm of the elephant. See if you can breathe deeply to one side. Exhale out to the other side. Back and forth. Let your lower back soften. And allow each breath to be full and deep. Just a couple more times. Now when you're ready, take yourself to one side. Put your hands on each side of one of your legs. Take a deep breath in and gently bow just to where it's safe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your head hang down. Let your neck be soft. Let the neck release. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with a great big sigh. Shake the head gently, yes and no. With an inhale, rise back up. Place the hands on the legs. Exhale here. Now take a deep breath in. Again, let it out with a sigh. Turn to the other side. Breathe in and gently bow just to where it's comfortable. As you press that opposite hip to the floor, shoulders both relax. Let your head hang down so the neck can be soft. Let your neck release. Take a deep breath in and again let it out with a great big sigh. Shake your head a little yes and no. With an inhale, rise back up, hands on your legs. Exhale here. Now take a deep breath in, draw your shoulders up. Exhale, pull them back and down. One more time. Inhale, draw the shoulders up. Exhale, take them back and down. Place the hands on the floor in front of you, and when you bow, stretch it out to where it's comfortable for you. Let your head hang down. Let the neck be soft. Let the neck release. Please take this moment to balance your breath with your mind and your body. With a deep breath in, gently rise up. Put the backs of the hands together and lift them to the heart. Take a deep breath in, open the arms out wide. Exhale, the hands meet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the hands gently to the heart. Namaste. Release your hands. Roll your shoulders. We're going to bring our hands all the way up to the ceiling. Touch your hands. And on your exhale, bring your right hand behind you, your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Set up tall, squeeze your belly, look over your right shoulder. Take a couple of deep breaths there. Now, keeping your hands where they are, turn your head, gently looking to the left. If it feels good, please little yeses with your chin. Release the pose, come back to the middle, bring your shoulders gently up, and exhale, relax them down. Try it one more time. Let's bring them up. Let them fall. With an inhale, bring your hands all the way up. Exhale, bring your left hand behind you, your right hand to your left thigh. Set up tall, squeeze your tummy. Look as far to your left as it feels safe and comfortable. Keeping your hands where they are. Slowly turn your head. Look as far to the right as it feels comfortable. If it feels good, gently shake your head yes. Please don't do this if it hurts. Release your pose, come back to the center, roll the shoulders. And one more time, let's go to the right. Let's bring our hands up. Exhale, bring your right hand behind you, left hand to your right thigh. Look over your right shoulder, pull your tummy in. Now we're going to keep the twist, turn your head just like we did before. The back arm, your right arm goes straight up, spread your fingers, fold towards your left thigh. If you'd like, you can look to the left side or look under your right arm to the palm of your right hand. Take another breath. And then turn the palm of the hand up and inhale. Press the air down as you come back to the center. Gently roll your shoulders. Inhale, take your hands up. Exhale, left hand behind you, right hand to the thigh. Look over your left shoulder to where it's comfortable. Keeping the twist. Slowly turn your head, look to the right. Our left arm goes straight up. You're going to spread your fingers. Fold to your right thigh. Look under your left arm to the palm of the hand or look down at the right side. Take one more deep breath and then turn the palm of your hand up. Press the air down as you come back to the center. Roll your shoulders. So we're going to stretch our hamstrings before we come into our sun salutations. So lay down, grab your yoga strap. If you don't need a yoga strap, you don't have to have one. But let's extend the legs out. Let's stretch out first. Stretch out from your fingertips to your toenails. And then you're going to hug that right knee into your chest. Turn the toes to the ceiling. Lift your left heel up and bring your nose to your right knee. Take that left arm over your left thigh, like you're going to grab your left big toe. Take another breath and then drop it to the floor. Let's get the strap around the right foot. Stretch your leg. Get the hamstrings, your calf muscles. Breathe into it. Try to relax your shoulders onto the floor. Take one more breath there. Now let's do spider pose. Our right hand reaches up as high as it goes onto the strap. Our left hand rests on the thigh. Lift the leg up 2 inches. Turn those left toes up. Lift the left leg up 2 inches and bring your nose to your right leg. Reach your left arm over your thigh or next to it, whatever is better. And then drop your head and shoulders down. Left arm rests out, palm up. Drop your right leg out to the right side. Look straight to the ceiling or look over your left shoulder. Everybody's going to be a little different in this, so breathe into that right hip. Let it stretch. Now we're going to get circles in that hip. We're going to bring the right leg to the ceiling and out to the right side. Circles in your hip, going one way around several times before you change the direction and go the other way around several times. Get it loose. Now bring the leg back to the center. Left hand takes your strap. Right arm rests out comfortable, palm up. Pull your right leg to the left side as much or as little as possible. Look over your right shoulder if it feels good. And we're just going to take a breath here in this twist. And then we bring it back to the center and pull that leg gently over as up to your head. Some of you can get your foot over your head and on the floor, but not all of us. Now we're going to take that strap off your foot, support it or not. Point your ankle up and work your ankle in circles. And then slowly or quickly bring it down. And then reach your arms out, point your toes, hollow body. And then you're going to hug behind your left knee. Turn all toes to the ceiling. Lift your right leg up 2 inches. Bring your nose to your left knee and reach your right arm over your right thigh like you're going to grab the right big toe. You could go next to the thigh. And then you're going to drop your head and shoulders on the floor. Grab your strap, put it around your left foot, and breathe into the back of that left leg. Let your shoulders relax. Now our left hand has our strap, and reach it up as high as it goes. Right hand on your right thigh or next to it. Turn your right toes to the ceiling. Lift the heel up 2 inches, nose to left leg. Reach your arm over your thigh. Breathe there. And then drop it down to the floor. Right arm out with the palm up. Left leg goes out to the left side, only to where it feels comfortable to you. You look either straight to the ceiling or over your right shoulder, whatever feels best to you. Now with an inhale, bring your left leg up to the ceiling and out to the left side. Take that leg around in circles, going one way around, and change the direction and go the other way around. It's going to feel different on each side. Now bring that leg back to the middle. Both hands grab your yoga strap. Now right hand has your strap. Left arm rests out comfortable, palm up. Pull the leg across the body. You can keep the leg straight or bend it. Look straight to the ceiling or over your left shoulder. Breathe into this twist. Now let's bring that leg up to the ceiling. Pull that leg gently towards you. Take the strap off of your foot. Support it or not. Point the ankle up and wiggle it. And slowly or quickly bring that straight left leg down. Once it lands, reach your arms out, point your toes. Turn the toes up and press through the heels of your feet. And then hug behind your knees, nose to bent knees. Now if you just want to rock and roll forward, you can come up on your knees that way. If not, roll to your side. Let's come up on our hands and knees and get ready for some cat-cow. Spread the fingers. We're going to gently arch our back up to the ceiling and move it into cow pose. Flow back and forth from cat. Move it into cow. Breathe here. Flow here. From head to tailbone. Next time you have cat, hold your cat, shake your head, and then gently press your hips to your heels. Reach the arms way out long to the front of your mat, elbows off the floor. Keep the hips low, lift your head and chest up, walk your hands as far as they can go to the left side. Reaching them out to the left, head drops between the arm, right hand rests on top of the left, twist to the middle. Get that nice stretch in your shoulder blade there. And then we're going to inhale, lift our head and chest up, walk your way all the way over to the right side. Head drops down between your arms, put the left hand on top of your right hand and twist to the center, left side to the middle. Inhale, lift back up, walk your way back to the center and come into any child's pose. Remember, in the duration of this class, at any time, if any pose is too much, we meet back into child's pose, and then you go on to the next pose that you feel comfortable to. So when you're ready, we're going to lift ourselves up, toes are rolled under, hips are low, reach your arms way out to the front, spread your fingers, tuck your chin, lift your knees up off the floor until you come into down dog. Walk your puppy. Slow. Aren't you glad we stretched those hamstrings first? Now press the heels down to the floor, lift your hips up, and take a million tiny, teeny, weeny steps until you come to the very front of your mat. Let your head hang, let your shoulders go, take a deep breath and go. Have your knees bent as much or as little as needed. Shake your head. Use your arms like wings. Inhale, rise up. Touch your hands over your head. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, take your hands up. We're going to interlace them. Pointer finger up to steeple pose. Lengthen tall. Exhale to the right side. Inhale up. Exhale to the left side. Inhale up. One more time to the right. Hold it. Keep breathing. Only if it feels good, a slight twist at the waist to look upward. Inhale. Bring it back to center. And exhale. Float out to the left. A tiny twist at the waist to look upward. And then inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, take the hands to your heart. With an inhale, bring your hands up. Touch your hands. Exhale, bend your knees. Bring your hands all the way down to the floor. Shake your head a little bit. Take a deep breath and go. Now we're going to inhale, step back with your right foot to a high lunge. Get that heel as far away as you can. Hands on each side of your left foot. And you're going to breathe here. Keep the back of that right thigh up. Now all we're going to do is step forward. So if you can, one giant step, maybe 3 or 4 steps. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, head lifted. Any head lifted. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, left foot to high lunge. Reach that heel far back from your hip. Lift the thigh up to the ceiling. Breathe here. Now we're going to inhale, step forward. Exhale to forward bend. Inhale, head lifted, a long flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, come up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to any head lifted. Exhale to fold. Inhale, left foot to high lunge. Now we're going to puff our backs up to the ceiling and gently drop that knee down onto the mat. We're going to press our hips forward on an inhale, and then exhale, pull back on your right leg as far as it's going to go. It may not be straight. Bow to your right leg. If you want to deepen it, you lift the sole of your right foot up, you spread the toes wide, you press the heel down into the floor, and you isometrically draw it back towards your hip. Spread those toes, claw the mat. Try to look up and over the top of your foot. You're trying to go for a head lifted. It deepens the pose tremendously. Now we're going to bend that knee, roll forward, relax your left foot in the back. Both hands come to the inside of your right foot. Come down onto your elbows. Maybe you can't make it to your elbows. Maybe you stay on your hands. That's perfectly fine either way. But we're keeping our right knee towards the ceiling, close to our shoulder. And we're allowing the left hip to stretch and melt to the floor. If it feels good to you, roll out on the side of your right foot. Let your knee flop out. Let your hip hang downward to the floor. And breathe there. Let that right hip open just for a moment. And then we're going to gently come back up. Hands are underneath us, arms are straight. We're going to bring our right knee back to meet our left knee. Toes are rolled under. We're in plank. If you choose, drop your hips to the floor for up dog. Then we're going to plank, and we lift it to down dog. So maybe you want a tiny step forward, but we're trying to get all the weight away from your wrists. Now, all we're going to do is lift our right leg up a little bit or a lot. Down dog ekapada. If you don't want to do that, you can keep both feet down. Then we're going to bring our right foot to the floor. We're going to lift the left leg up to down dog ekapada. Now, we're going to swing it up to our hands. So we're going to bring that left foot forward. If that's too difficult, come down onto your knees and walk that left foot up into high lunge. Puff your back up to the ceiling. Stretch your back. Gently drop that right knee down onto the floor. Inhale, press the hips forward. Exhale, pull back on your left leg. Bow to that left leg. Breathe into it. One more breath there. One-legged forward fold. Now we're going to deepen it. Lift the sole of your left foot up. Spread the toes wide apart. Press the heel down and isometrically draw it back to your hip. Take your hands, claw the mat. Try to look up and over the top of your left foot. It becomes head lifted now. One more breath. And then we're going to roll it forward. Relax your right toes in the back. Both hands come to the left, inside of the left foot, and we come down onto our elbows. Keep the left knee towards your shoulder. Let your right hip sink to the floor. Breathe into it. You can be on your hands. You do not have to be on your elbows. Open your knee out to the side. Look at the bottom of your left foot if you can, or not. That's fine. And then we're going to put our hands under the shoulders again. We're going to bring our left knee back to meet the right knee. Roll the toes under. We're in plank. Drop your hips to the floor. Up dog. Take to plank to down dog. Press heels to the floor. Lift your hips up high. Now we're going to do one more time, down dog ekapada. So you're going to lift that left leg up. If you want, open your left hip to the left side, bend your knee, point your knee to the ceiling, look over your right shoulder. You'll see your foot. It's a back bend. Kick it if you want, let your head hang, and set that foot, left foot on the floor. Take the dog for a walk. Now let's try it the other side. Press the heels down, lift your right leg up, open the hip up to the right side. Bend your right knee to the ceiling, look over your left shoulder, you'll see your foot. Let your head hang, kick the leg, and if you can, sweep that right foot forward or come down on your knees and walk that foot up. Now step the left foot forward, one step or many steps, forward fold. Inhale to any head lifted. Exhale to the fold. Inhale, come up. Extended mountain. Touch your hands. Float your hands gently down to the heart. We're going to inhale, bring our hands up. And we're going to exhale, forward fold. Inhale, any head lifted. Exhale to the fold. Step back with your right foot to high lunge. We're going to keep our right hand on the floor. We're going to sweep the left arm straight up to the ceiling, and we're going to look up. If it feels good, bring your left arm by your ear, palm down, and then sweep the hand on the floor. We're going to the other side. Left fingers stay on the floor. And I forgot to tell you, if you need to drop your right knee down, you can do that. We're going to sweep the right arm up, open the chest up, look up if it's good, down if it's better. And just like we did before, arm by your ear, and then sweep that hand down. Now, you can have the knee up or the knee down, but we're going to come up with both hands, crescent moon. You can have your hands on the legs, hands by your ears. Breathe here. One more breath. Float your hands down, and we're going to step forward, forward bend. Inhale, any head lifted. Exhale to forward fold. Step back with your left foot to high lunge. Now we're going to up on teacup fingers. You can have your knee on the floor or not. Left hand stays on the floor. Sweep that right arm up. Look up. Bring the right arm by your ear. And then float that hand down. Now let's open it. Right hand stays on the floor. Lift the left arm up. Look up if it's good. Bring the arm by your ear and sweep that hand down to the floor. Inhale, up, crescent moon lunge. Lift the back of that left thigh up if the knee is off the floor and sweep the hands down. We're going to inhale, step forward. Exhale, forward bend. Shake your head. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, take the hands gently to your heart. We're going to take our legs open wide, toes inward, heels outward. We're going to put our hands on our hip crease, and we're going to come down, but we're going to bring ourselves level to the floor once, come up, and then we're going to go all the way down. So we're going to lift our collarbones up, exhale, come all the way level so your body's level to the floor. Take a breath. Inhale, back up. Exhale, come all the way down. Let your head hang. It's a wide forward fold. Shake your head. Now, you're going to put your hands right underneath your shoulders. We're going to walk our hands out just a little bit. We're going to take a deep breath and exhale. Let your head hang between your arms. It's a wide down dog. We're going to inhale. Bring your shoulders out past to your wrists. Exhale, press it back, wide down dog. Do you feel how effortless it is on your wrist? In down dog, it's not this effortless, but almost. So if you're feeling a lot of weight on your wrist, get with me. We'll work on it. With an inhale, one more time, bring your shoulders to your wrists. Exhale, press it back. Now use your arms like wings, come all the way up. Touch your hands over your head and float your arms out level to the floor. Turn your left foot to the left side of your yoga mat and come into warrior two, bending that knee over your ankle and you look at your toes. You just want to see toes fringing past your knee. That way you know you're in the right alignment. Relax your shoulders out of your ears and turn the palms up. Drop the right hand down and lift up with that left hand. Keep that left knee bent. And then we're going to come back into warrior two. Now triangle pose. Straighten your leg. Reach your arms out as far as they go. Drop your left hand behind your left leg. Low or high. Maybe it goes down to the floor, maybe not. Anywhere you're at, you're not pressing on your leg. Inhale, come back up. Touch your hands over your head. Turn your foot to the long end of the mat and float your hands to the heart. Open the arms out. Turn your right toes to the short end of your yoga mat. And we're going to bend our right knee. Look at your knee. Make sure toes are just fringing past your knee. You're reaching out with your hands, relaxing through your shoulders. Turn the palms up. Drop the left hand down. Reach the right hand up to the ceiling. Keep that right knee bent. Come back to warrior two to triangle pose. So straighten the leg. Reach out as far as you go. Drop the hand behind the leg. Bring it down, low or high. Left hand is reaching up. You're looking down or up. Breathe here. Inhale, let's come up. Touch your hands over your head. Turn your foot to the inside. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring your heels in, heel toe, or hop it together. Walk your legs out because they probably have gotten tight. So we're going to do a little balance pose to stretch the tightness out of your legs. We're going to do dancer pose. So all we're going to do is grab that left foot, flex that left foot. Put your right hand on your shoulder. Excuse me. We're going to reach that right hand out and take that left leg up. Breathe. Bring that hand back and set the foot on the floor. Let's see if we can take that right heel up. Left hand on your shoulder. Flex your foot behind you. Reach that left hand out. Lift that right knee up. And then step it down. Walk it out a bit. So we're going to try it a different way. Now we're going to try our left foot again. Flex it. Bring your right hand up. Now we're not going for a forward fold, and we're not even trying to go for a leveling to the floor. We're reaching out. We're reaching out and upward because someday you're going to bring that left foot over your head and both hands are going to hold it over your head. And then we're going to bring it back down. Let's try it the other way. Right foot comes up. Left arm up high. Let's take it out. Breathe. Reach that leg up. And then set it back on the floor. Walk it out. Now, we're going to play a little bit more. So we're going to come up on our tippy toes, and we're going to bring our hands up over our head, and we're going to come all the way down. Now, once we come down, we're going to breathe here, and then we're going to come down on the floor. We're going to play half bow pose to full bow pose. So when you're ready, excuse me, I've got a little allergies going on. Lay all the way flat down onto your yoga mat. We're going to stretch those quadriceps. We're going to put that left arm out in a T pose, palm down, and we're putting our left cheek on the floor. We're pushing ourselves all the way over to the left side with that right hand. You may want to adjust breast tissue out of the way. You're going to bend the bottom knee, the left knee. Bend your right knee a lot and grab it. Flex your right foot. Take that right leg back. Lift your head up. Look over your right shoulder. That left hand on the floor, press it down to open the chest. Just draw the shoulder blades together. One more breath. And then we're going to gently drop it down to the floor. We're going to go to the other side. Our right arm out in a T pose, palm down. Right cheek on your yoga mat. We're going to take ourselves over to the right side, Right knee bends, left leg bends behind you. Grab your ankle with your left hand, flex your left foot. Lift your head up, look over your left shoulder. Press down with that right hand. Spread those fingers. One more breath. And then gently come back down to the floor. Give yourself a moment. Stack the hands, put your forehead on your hands. Neutral, neutral back, neutral neck. Now, let's try full bow pose. It's not always easy. Bend your knees, forehead on the mat. You grab your ankles behind you if you can. Flex your feet. Lift your head up, lift your chest up. Can you lift your knees? Rise and fall with the breath. One more breath. And then gently release it. Put your arms by your side, palms up. Bend your knees, crisscross your ankles, back and forth. Turn your head to the other side and drop your heels from side to side. That should help release that. Now we're going to drop our feet down onto the floor. Place your hands under, put your elbows underneath you. Interlock your hands. We're going to roll our toes under. Yes, we're working on the core. We're going to lift our hips up. With an inhale, we're going to bring our head out past our knuckles. Exhale, press back with the heels. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, back. Inhale out and back. Inhale out. Exhale, back. Inhale out. Exhale, back. Inhale out. Exhale, back. Let's do two more. Inhale out. Exhale, back. And one more. Inhale out. Exhale, back. Relax it down. Put your right cheek on the mat, arms by your side, palms up. And just take a couple of breaths. Bend your knees and crisscross them a little bit. Helps release that back. And then drop your feet down to the floor. Let's do one more like that. Bring your elbows underneath you. Interlace your hands. Roll your toes under. Lift your hips up. Now, on your inhale, your legs are going to be straight. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, bend them. Inhale, straighten them. Exhale, bend them. Inhale, straighten them. Exhale, bend them. Do we have two more? Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. And bend. And let it go. Put your arms by your side. Palms up. One right, the left cheek on your mat. Bend your knees. Drop them from side to side. Now we're going to drop those feet down onto the floor. We're going to place our hands underneath our shoulders, and we're going to come into child's pose. Toes touch, knees apart or together. Put your head on your hands or on the floor. Please take 3 deep breaths into your back. Let the back stretch. Let the lower back release. One more breath, kids. Now we're going to come up, and I have one more balance pose for us. So we usually do one leg out and the opposite arm out. We're going to do that, but then we're going to evolve that and take it a little deeper. So toes are rolled under. We're going to take our left leg out no higher than your hip. In fact, turn your head and make sure you're pointing your toes to the floor and the hip is no higher than your heel is no higher than your hip. The opposite arm, right arm goes out. Spread your fingers. Look at that spot between your thumbs if you have 2 thumbs down there. And then we're going to bring it down. Let's go to the other side. Right leg out, point the toes down. If you want to look back, make sure the heel's in the right spot. Left arm goes out, spread your fingers. And bring it down. Let's go out with the left leg, right arm. But just like we did in bow pose, bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand. Lift that knee up. You can lift your gaze or look down. Now we're going to release it. Move your hips in circles. One way, then the other way. Now let's go to the other side. Right heel out, left arm out. Bend your knee, reach back, grab your foot. It's there. Flex your foot, lift the knee up, lift your chest, and then bring it down. Move your hips, and then gently press it back. Extended child's arms out. Now one more time. This is a little more difficult. Hands and knees, roll your toes under. Take your right hand just slightly out to the side. We're going to extend the left leg out behind us. We're going to reach the left arm out too. Whoops, it wasn't balanced. Now you're going to bend that left knee, grab your left ankle with your left hand this time. If you can, you open your hip to the left side. Let's see if I can even look. Whoops. Laugh, because we're supposed to laugh when we fall. So we're going to gently and slowly look upward and breathe. Have a sense of humor. And then we're going to gently bring it down. Let's try it to the other side. Left hand slightly out. Take that right leg out. Bend your knee. Right hand grabs it. Try to find that balance. Open your hip to the right side. Maybe look upward and breathe. And then we're going to bring our knee to the floor. I love balance poses close to the floor. Move your hips around. Now we're going to come all the way into child's pose and allow yourself to relax for just a moment. Allow the body to balance. Now, we're going to lift ourselves up. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So we're going to bring our right knee forward. We're going to slip that left leg back behind us. Drop down onto the hip and pull that foot out to the left side. Make sure your right knee is pointing out to the right side. So when you land your left hip towards your right heel, you're feeling that deep stretch in your right hip. Now, if there's space between the floor and your hip, get your rolled up towel, your blanket, your pillow, stick it under the hip. And we're breathing here. We're going to be here for a few minutes. You're going to allow your hip to open. If this is too much on your knee, you need to lay back onto your back and put your right ankle on your left thigh. Drop both knees down to the left side. Left hand can hold your right ankle, pointing the right knee up. So whether you're on your belly or on your back, we're breathing deeply into our right hip. We're allowing that right hip to soften and to open. Let the hip flexors release and relax. So we're not just staying stagnant here. For just a moment, if you'd like, you could walk your elbows over to the left side. That might even deepen the pose for you. You might not want to deepen it. So in these longer hold poses, I tell you to definitely make sure your neck and shoulders are happy. You don't have to be stagnant. You can be moving it. Allow that left hip to rest towards your right heel. We're not trying to press our right hip down over the left side. They're supposed to be both peeling and releasing to the floor. Now, if you wanted to, for grins and giggles, to walk your elbows over to the right side, and you could look over your right shoulder, and it stretches through your neck and shoulders a little bit. And it still stretches deeply into that hip in maybe a little different way. Allow that right hip to melt, to soften and open. We're almost done with the pose. Stay with your breath. Breathe deep into that right hip. We're almost complete, guys. We're almost done. Stay with it. I know it's really tough. That hip is always tight for everybody, no matter what you're doing during the day. We're on our last couple of breaths, kids. Now you're going to put your hands right underneath your shoulders. You're going to lift yourself up. If you have a prop underneath your right hip, pull it out. If you're on your back, you're going to meet us with your right knee bent, and your left foot is in front of your right shin, or you're going to put your left foot over to the other side of your right knee. Either right here or right here. We're going to hug that knee in with our right arm, and we're going to stick our left hand behind our back. We're going to gently look over our left shoulder, and if you're feeling good, you can put that right arm to the outside of your left leg and twist and look over your left shoulder. This deepens the pose. One more breath here. Now we're going to slowly unwind. We're going to do a half boat pose. So if your left foot is crossed over your right leg, put it in front of your shin. Both hands are going to hold your foot on each side or hold behind your knee. We're going to lift that left leg up. Look at boat pose. It's a half boat, anchored boat. Shoulders back and down. We're trying to get that line from our chin to our big toe, but we're still tucking our chin. Are you breathing? Now, if you choose to, right hand would hold the outside of your left foot, and you can reach your left arm out and look over your shoulder, and then bring that left hand across and grab your foot and pull it towards your head. You're going to release your leg and bring it down and bring that right leg out to meet the left leg. Work your ankles. Flex and point your feet. Slide the soles of your feet together. Move your knees up and down. Give yourself a gentle bow. And with an inhale, lift back up. We're going to put that left foot in front of us, left knee out to the left side. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Try to adjust your right hip towards your left heel. You want to have your left foot where it's comfortable for your knee. Make sure the knee is pointing out to the side and not under your hip, and allow your elbows to come forward. You can just lay your head down and breathe here into it, letting that right hip rest towards the left heel. If your left hip is up off the floor, you jam a blanket or pillow or a towel underneath there. Now, if this is too much on your belly, that often can be the case. One side's different. Put your left ankle, drop it to the right. Right hand would grab your left heel and pull it in enough so you can feel it in your hip. Make sure the knee is pointing to the ceiling. We're all going to breathe into that left hip, as if that left hip had a nose of its own. A lot of us, the left hip is tighter because we drive. A lot of us haven't been driving lately, so maybe the left hip is not so tight. Usually that right leg is out and we're stepping on the pedal and it's a little looser. That left hip can be a little tighter. So if you wanted to, just like we did before, you don't need to be stagnant and just crying into that left hip. You can walk your elbows to the right. Yes, it feels a little deeper. Maybe you want to cry a little bit here. Maybe you only want to stay here for a breath or two so that when you come back to the middle, it might be easier. more able to stay into the pose. And we're going to gently maybe walk your elbows to the left side and look over that left shoulder. That feels so good. It gives you a little extra stretch in the neck and shoulders, everywhere in the legs, hips. Now, oftentimes when we're in this pose, you're going to feel this in the groin. You may notice your nervous system, one side feels a little pinchier than the other. That's all very common. Just allow yourself to release. You may even feel like your feet are falling asleep. Don't worry, we're not going to be in it for a whole lot longer. Allow the hips to melt. Allow them to open. This is the pose that changes the whole game of how you walk. It integrates your hips so you can go up and down stairs and use your legs so they work well instead of one dominant leg going up first. So that when you're walking down the sidewalk, your hips are moving well together, the way they were meant to be. We're almost done, kids. We're on our last few breaths of this pose. Stay with it if you can. Let that right hip melt to the left heel, left hip melt to the floor. Last seconds, folks, last seconds. Then you're going to gently put your hands underneath your shoulders, lift yourself back up. Roll back. If you have a prop under your left hip, get rid of it. Roll back on it. If you are on your back, meet us with your left knee bent and put your right foot either in front of your left shin or to the outside of your left thigh. We're going to set up tall, pull body parts out of the way. Left arm either holds the knee, hugs it, or it goes to the outside of the leg. Right hand goes on the floor, and we're going to gently twist over your right shoulder. Breathe here. One more breath. Then we're going to gently unwind. If your foot is to the outside of your left thigh, put your right heel in front of your left shin. Both hands hold your feet or hold behind your knee. Take your leg out. Try to get your shoulders pulled back towards your spine. One straight line from chin to big toe without curving your neck. Pull your tummy in and breathe. Now, if you want to, you could put your left hand to the outside of your right foot. It could be to the outside of the right leg. That would be fine too. Then right hand goes on the floor. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to sweep our right hand back and try to look into our right hand. I'm sorry. Now we're going to take this right hand and sweep it and cross it over the left wrist. Grab your foot and see if you can pull that leg closer towards your head. And then gently lower that leg down. Let the legs go out wide. Work your ankles. And then one more. We're going to take our legs out comfortably wide. Turn your toes up to the ceiling. So we're going to feel this in our groin muscles. This is going to be a long hold, not too long. Just a minute or so. We're going to keep our back long, put our hands in front of us, and we're going to keep the toes turned up. If you need to, you could put rolled up towels underneath your knees, and we're imagining bringing our pubic bone down, our belly, then our chest, then our face. If you get your chest down without your pubic bone down or your belly down, you have no business being there. We're slowly bringing it down and feeling that stretch in the legs. Breathe here. The reason why we do this and hold it for a long time, these muscles and tendons are so tight. If we stretch into them too much, we're going to tear those areas, and yes, they will repair themselves. But in order to repair themselves, they all have to tighten up in order to do so. So then you're tighter than you were before you started the practice. So truly, less is more. You only want to go where you're feeling it and just stay there. Don't go into it where it's hurting. You just want to go to where it's tolerable. Breathe. Might change. You may come up. You may go down a little further. We're almost complete with the pose. I am watching your timer. And I know these yin poses aren't easy, but they're some of the most beneficial poses you can have, especially for the hips. Take just another couple of breaths. See if you can come lower. Don't push it if not. Some of you have elbows on the floor. Some of you are already out. Some of you are going, I'll never go down. And we're on our last seconds. Now, use your hands to slowly lift yourself back up. Once you do, please work your ankles around. Then slide the soles of your feet together. Bounce your knees a little bit and allow yourself to fold. Let your head hang. Take several breaths here, breathing out your back rib cage, your lower back. Let your hips open. This pose is meant to be held for 5 minutes. We are not holding it for 5 minutes, obviously. We're just allowing ourselves to stretch. This stretches your back. This is one of those yin poses that stretches your back as well as your hips and groin. Just a couple more deep breaths into that back. Let your head hang. Very slowly, very gently, lift yourself back up. Once you do, use your hands behind your knees. Bring your knees in together. Drop your hands back and rock your knees from side to side. So now it's time for the inversion pose of your choice. If you want, you can go and do a headstand. If you don't want to do a headstand, I'm not a big fan of doing them. I like to do plow pose. But if you're not a fan of plow, let's do bridge pose. And if you're not a fan of doing bridge pose, you could do legs up the wall or the L. So whichever inversion pose, I'm not going to demonstrate a headstand. That's another day, and I would probably do that live. I would not like to do that virtually. So make sure the feet are on the floor. If you're doing bridge pose, the hands go down onto the floor. You lift your hips up without gripping your butt. Maybe you walk your hands underneath you. Here is bridge. If you feel like doing the L, hands by your side, feet up. And what I love doing is taking myself into the L and then simply bringing the feet over the head into plow pose. Your hands can be interlocked or they can be down. Do not look around in this pose. It's not good for your neck. You want to keep your chin slightly lifted. You do not want weight on your cervical spine. You can have your knees bent, put your knees by your ears, and that's snail pose. And then we're all going to release our inversion pose slowly. Slow. Very slow. And once we do, we're all going to meet with our knees bent, our feet flat on the floor, our arms out, palms up. We're going to take our left leg, cross it tightly over your right leg, drop both knees down to the left side, look over your left shoulder. Take a deep breath there. With an inhale, bring your knees back up. Uncross your legs. Lift your hips up, a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Drop your hips down. Excuse me. Right leg crosses over left leg. Knees drop down to the left side. Look over your right shoulder or straight up to the ceiling. Breathe into it. Now with an inhale, let's lift both knees back up. Uncross your legs. Lift your hips up. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hips down. Knees touch. Feet go wide apart. Take a deep breath. Let your sacrum open. Let it release. Maybe lift your hips up and drop your hips down further to feel a deeper stretch. Point one knee towards the ceiling and press the opposite knee down. And go gently from side to side. Slow. Extra slow. Let that open the sacrum. Lubricate those hips. Now, let's bring both knees back up. Take the knees around in a great big circle. Go one way, go the other way. Separate the knees, circles in your hip. Go one way, go the other way. Reach your hands between your legs, grab your feet, rock yourself from side to side. Happy baby. And then when you're ready, send the heels up to the ceiling, knees towards the floor. Dead bug pose. And then throw a pillow underneath your legs. Send your legs out. Let your feet flop out. Let the hips open. Let your arms rest out, palms up. Take a deep breath in. Let your breath out with a great big sigh. Take inventory of the body. Is there discomfort? Is there dis-ease? Is there a thought, an emotion that needs to leave? Take a deep breath into those areas. Sip a little more breath in, and then blow it hard out of your mouth. Go. Try it again. Take a deep breath into those areas. Sip a little more breath in. Now blow it out hard. Let's take a breath in and let it out with ah. Take a breath in. Ah. Let's do the delicious sound. Take a deep breath in. Let's try that one more time. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with ah. One more delicious sound. Let it out with Notice the vibration left on your lips. Let that vibration reverberate through the entire body. Imagine every cell of your body is opening up, savoring that delicious sensation. Find the sound of your own breath Your breath is right there at the back of your throat. Let that breath deepen. Hear the sound flowing like a gentle wave. Let that wave flow from head to toe, fingertip to fingertip. Allow that breath to flow from skin deep down into the bones. Let each breath soothe your body. Let each breath relax. Let it release the whole mind. Bring your awareness to that spot between your eyebrows. Allow that area to soften. Let it open. Allow that area to become spacious. Notice the forehead and the scalp simply melting away. Allow those waves of relaxation to flow deep into your face. The eyes soften. Your cheeks relax. The jaws seem to unhinge. Let the chin hang heavy. As every fiber in your neck seems to soften and release. Notice the ears are melting further down. As you breathe deeply into the fronts of your shoulders, notice the backs of your shoulders have simply melted away. Allowing those waves of relaxation to flow deep into your arms, soothing your hands as it flows out to your fingertips. As each breath expands your rib cage just a bit more, notice that gentle wave, the flow of your breath. Let it release each vertebra gently into the mat. As you breathe deeply into the fronts of your hips, notice the backs of your hips have simply melted away. Allow those waves of relaxation to cascade deeply into your thighs. Let it soothe your knees. Feel it floats deep into your calves, down to each one of your feet. Follow that flow from head to toe, fingertip to fingertip, skin to bone. Let each breath soothe your body. Let each breath relax. Let it release the whole mind. as you start to bring yourself back. Come on back to the room. Wiggle the toes. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle the ankles. Wiggle your wrists. Take a nice deep breath in with any extra stretch you'd like. Bring yourself back to the body more fully, more completely. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Then hug your knees into the chest, maybe nose to bent knees. Roll to the right side if it's good. Roll to the left side if it's better. And then we're all going to meet each other. We're going to just make sure our necks are feeling good with a little neck stretch. So once you set up, make sure you roll your shoulders a couple of times. Make sure they're loose. We're going to gently drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. Take the left hand out on the floor. Move it back just enough. Open your eyes. Look out of the left side of your eye up to the ceiling. Lift your chin with the gaze. Take a deep breath and go. Slowly rotate your nose. Look down at your right knee. Let your head hang. Take a deep breath and go. Little yeses with your chin. Then the left hand comes to your knee. Tuck your chin to your chest. Little nose. Bring both shoulders to your ears. Lift your head up. Relax the shoulders down. Gently drop your left ear towards the shoulder. Take the right hand out on the floor. Move it back just enough. Open your eyes, look out the right side of your eye up to the ceiling, and lift your chin with the gaze. Now take a deep breath in and go. Slowly and gently rotate your nose, look down at your left knee. Let your head hang. Take a deep breath. Little yeses with your chin. And then bring your hand to your knee, tuck your chin to your chest, little nose. Bring both shoulders to your ears, lift your head up. Relax the shoulders back and down. Please put your hands together, thumbs against your heart. If you choose to Om tonight, close your eyes. Invite a deep breath in. Namaste. It was an honor and a pleasure to get to play with you tonight. Thanks for coming.